How's it going today, guys? It's been a minute since Nova Online has had any sort of leak come out or anything getting exposed. If a week is a long time, I guess it is in Nova terms. But since that's not happening, it gives us a good opportunity to go and take a look at Nova's TikToks. You know, the thing that he's supposed to be known for, giving shitty food reviews on the internet. If you thought that he was only on the internet to get exposed for creepy stuff he did on Discords, well, you wouldn't be wrong for thinking that. That's basically all he does. It's his side hustle on the internet besides, you know, the Novacord paracord bracelets. Hell, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Nova thought of himself as a creepy Discord degenerate and a crappy food reviewer second. If that wasn't the main ploy for him to get food from his mom, I think he'd probably forget about it. TikTok would just never happen until we started getting some mean messages, started having a few brews, and like, hey, it's WWE entrance time. One of my friends betrayed me. Now I gotta pretend to be CM Punk in my yard. And it's gotta be such a sight to see from his neighbor. You're having a bad day after work. Maybe the kid's getting on your nerves a little bit. All you gotta do is just look out the window. Maybe at 2:30 in the morning, there's a drunk chome. Or maybe he's in the process of the WWE entrance where he's having the few brewskis. And that's when the chome starts up. What does he do after these? Pretend to have a wrestling match, CM drunk. We finally figure out what the CM stands for. It's just an abbreviation of chome versus imaginary versions of people on the chome list. I'm sure gonna throw you, Smokey MCC. You listen here, Major Chilla. You're gonna get it this time. He does know he could join any shitty professional wrestling program he wanted. They probably wouldn't even ask if he trained at all. And he could just do entrances all day. Pretend to have matches. Well, not even pretend. He could have real ones. It's something he could find some value in, a purpose, if you will. Hopefully not finding any like-minded individuals, but you know, give him something to do besides being a creep on the internet. But no, he's not gonna do that. And if he's not giving WWE entrances, well, he's gonna be digging around in his trash mound of a floor to find old food he can use to record videos.
Bah! Now, these things have been sitting in my room for about 3 weeks, just begging for me to eat them, so today we're finally gonna try them out. Coke flavored Oreos. If I recall correctly, I've either uploaded the Oreo Coke video or it's in my drafts on my second phone. But hey, today we're gonna be trying these Coke Oreos. Popping candy inside? I wonder how these will compare to the Sour Patch Oreos. Open, god damn it. I smell Coke. Now, I'm more of a Pepsi person, but let's try the Coke Oreos. Bone Apple Teeth.
Exclusive property of Major Chilla on YouTube.
Nah. That actually tastes worse than a normal Oreo. And I'm not sure what I am tasting, but it's not good. Oreo, keep this discontinued. Novine Universe, signing off.
So I was mildly curious of how old these cookies could possibly be. He says 3 weeks, and I'm gonna put a big question mark next to that and add a couple more. I asked Alexa, then I went to Google and, you know, did a little bit of fact checking, not very much, so I could be wrong, maybe in different areas, but I kept getting the result that these Oreo Coke cookies got discontinued around September 2024. So these are either incredibly old, the store has had them in backup for a very long time. I don't even think Oreos are edible that long in general, but who knows? And or this is a TikTok draft he's been waiting forever to actually post. And if it is, that's a terrible idea. But this is the chome that we're talking about, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's eating literal garbage off the floor. The roaches in your house have literally fought wars over this box of Oreos, Nova. Tales have been told about the great provider, the ultra chome who seems to give and give and give but never take away from them. But still, yet you thought it was a great idea to pull these from your garbage mound, like a literal garbage mound, ladies and gentlemen, that he yanks this from. Who knows how long he was digging through there. He might have a pastime as an archaeologist as much as he went through to pull these Oreos out. Like, what are you, a bloodhound? You're able to wake up in the morning time and sniff these out of the garbage pile? I can just see you like floating in the air like a Disney cartoon with smelling pie or something to locate these Oreos that's been there for God knows how long. Now, maybe it's only been 3 weeks, but still, yeah, just about everything else, every other point I had still applies. That is disgusting, especially when you know the state Nova's room is in.
One of my favorite street food restaurants combined with one of my favorite boba restaurants. Actually, my favorite boba restaurant. Today, we're going to be trying some of the food for the first time on video. For the drink, I got a Thai milk tea. Ever since trying Thai milk tea for the first time at Moon River, I've been obsessed. So let's try this out.
Exclusive property of Major Chilla on YouTube.
Wow. Holy shit, that's good. It's really creamy. It's not too sweet, which is a problem with a lot of teas nowadays. They're all way too sweet. This one is perfect. First up from the street food part of the restaurant, we're going to try the gyoza. I'm not going to do it with sauce right now because why not? The meat inside is very juicy and flavorful. And also, I believe they gave me 2 more gyozas than what I was supposed to get. Good on you, restaurant that I'm not going to reveal the name of. And now we're going to try the grilled pork belly. And I got extra rice with it. They did give me a fork, so I'm going to use a gyoza as a fork right now. Let's start with the rice. It's nice and fluffy. It's a pretty good rice. And now we're going to try the pork belly. I know this isn't Sad Boy Eats, but that can cheer a sad boy up. This right here is some of the best meat, period, that I have ever put in my mouth. Hands down. It's fatty, it's juicy, it's flavorful, it's everything you want when you're eating a piece of meat.
I love how he has to specify that this is the first time of the recording on camera. He's had this plenty of times by himself. He's probably begged his mom each and every one of those times that, Mom, I've got to do this for TikTok. If I don't get this right now, you're jeopardizing my career, woman, and I will not have that. I swear on everything I'll let you sit out there for the fire department for an extra hour, Missy. Then she reluctantly has to buy him his DoorDash, for the safety of her own self at this point. I'm halfway convinced that this story is going to end like Psycho, with about the same amount of dressing up, but way more Discord degeneracy and just oddball behavior in general. But hopefully it never comes to that because Chom's mom finally wises up and kicks him to the curb. I think the only reason he's allowed to stay there is because of guilt and the fact that, it's her son and she needs like a small time caretaker at this point. But like, she's not getting help from him. He's not doing anything. He's literally going inside and doing food reviews as she's laying on the gravel waiting for actual helpful people to show up, the fire department, while he comes up with new creative solutions to eat food. I like how he had to phrase it as, I'm just going to use this gyoza because they didn't give me a fork, even though he's just specializing now in how can I stuff as much food in my mouth as humanly possible. I know, just turn the other foods on my plate into a fork, and just pure genius from the Chom. A new challenger of gluttony has hit the battlefield, and it better watch out because this is the Chom we're talking about, the apex predator. As soon as he's a sad boy and he thinks he's down and out, not the Chom. He just puts a little bit of meat in his mouth, you heard him, and then he's a happy boy again. That's all it takes. Prison might not be the worst case scenario for him. He might enjoy it.
So, I saw a certain person comment. I couldn't find their comment for some reason. But I saw them comment a great idea for a video. They said to compare a chain pizza to a local pizza spot. That is exactly what I'm doing today. Today, we're going to compare Pizza Hut and Cascadia Pizza Company. But overall flavor of the pepperoni is good, but the crust needs to be crunchier. Alright, as for Cascadia, their most popular is Nonna's Pie, which is supposed to be crispy pepperoni, ricotta cheese, Mike's hot honey, and fresh basil. Definitely some flop. 2 bites, nobody knows the rules. Damn it! Their pizza's wood-fired, so the crust has a nice char, which I like. Now, I personally think that Dave Portnoy would give Cascadia a really high rating. Now, which one do I prefer? Do I prefer Pizza Slop, or do I prefer Cascadia? In terms of value, Pizza Hut definitely wins. Their pepperoni is $14. And by 14, I mean $14. Compared to the pepperoni at Cascadia, which I believe is $28. However, the pizza I got was $36. But hey, would I get Pizza Hut or Cascadia more if I just was looking for flavor? Definitely Cascadia. They may charge double, but the overall quality definitely makes up for it. Much better crust, much better toppings, much better taste. So, I gotta give the edge to Cascadia for the win.
The Chome just loves copying other people's ideas. He would be that guy in the office who's stealing people's lunches, ratting on the other co-workers just to advance his position a little bit, claiming ideas for himself even though he was just overhearing other people talking about it. He just happened to be the first person to talk to the boss about it. That's the kind of person Chome is. It's almost lucky that he's so lazy that he refuses to work, or he'd probably get himself in a lot of trouble or be the most despised person there. I mean, he legitimately is every time he has had a job. I've never even heard of people getting fired as fast as him. Who gets fired on their first date? That's something only the Chome and Tofiichu can accomplish. That is almost impressive. But even when he is stealing other people's ideas, it doesn't even work out the way it's supposed to. Like, this should be a fairly good idea, like if you're a TikTok food reviewer, but you know what you probably don't do is order like a regular pepperoni pizza from Pizza Hut, and then you go buy like a supreme, like a top-notch pizza with all kinds of different other toppings on it. Like, yeah, that one better taste better. Like, from the wood stove alone, if you made a pizza taste bad on a wood stove, you've just really screwed that pizza up and maybe just put it down. Like, you don't need to be cooking anymore. Now I'm over exaggerating just a tad bit, but really, if you're gonna review these foods, you should probably have, I don't know, the exact same toppings. But we all know why he did this. This wasn't about comparing two different companies, you know, an organization and a local company. This was about, hey mom, I want 2 different pizzas, but that doesn't sound very good. Mom, I'm doing TikTok. I gotta get this Pizza Hut pizza and the one from Calvero's or whatever it was called. And mom's like, I'm not paying that much money, Nova. I'll get you a smaller pizza from there and that's it. For some reason, she still gives in and he happily gets his Pizza Hut pizza for later. And then he gets a super expensive pizza that sounded good to him at the time. And that's why they're different. And even though they had completely different toppings, Nova almost said the Pizza Hut won because of the value. Of course they're going to be priced differently. If you put all of those on a Pizza Hut pizza, it would probably be like, what, $21 or $22? Something like that. They don't even have most of those ingredients, I'm pretty sure. It has been a long time since I ate there, but I think so. Once again, having these be 2 completely different kind of pizzas with toppings and everything kind of makes this a stupid video. And the best part about it, in all honesty, was Nova just feeding the roaches once again. The God has giveth, just dropping a piece of the pizza on the floor. Most people are like, damn it, just like he did, but then put the pizza down, go grab something, wipe it up really fast, and then move back onto their pizza. Maybe wash their hands, you know, but not Nova. He's just like, to the roaches it goes. I am their god. To them, I'm not just the Chome. I'm not just a Discord degenerate. I am their everything. And then he's right back to crappy food reviews.
Alright, Denny's came out with their version of the Triple Dipper called the Diner Dipper, and today I'm going to be trying out 3 of the choices. But before we try that, let's try the hot chocolate.
Exclusive property of Major Chilla on YouTube.
That's really good. It might be dumb ordering hot chocolate when it's like 85 degrees outside, but that is some good hot chocolate. It's very rich and creamy. Alright, in the Diner Dipper, I got the seasoned fries, the bacon, egg, and cheese sliders, and the bone-in buffalo wings. Let's start with the seasoned fries. They're a little soggy, they need to be cooked a little bit longer, but flavor is good. Now the buffalo wings, y'all know how I feel about wings. At a diner? That is crazy good. The buffalo taste is a little bit too watered down. It needs to have more of that spice to it. But the chicken's actually nice and juicy. It's not too bad. Now finally, the all-new bacon, egg, and cheese sliders. Now, I haven't had a Chili's Triple Dipper in years, so I can't say for sure whether or not this is better. So, in a week's time, I'm gonna compare this to the Chili's Triple Dipper, see who wins. No Vine Universe, signing off. Is this the best fish and chips ever? Let's find out. I got it from Sweet Lou's in downtown Coeur d'Alene. I used to work here. The fish is freaking, like, looks like it's changed a little bit. Like, I used to prepare this all the time, and it looks like the fish, looks like the size is a little different, but the batter is what really has shocked me. It's definitely darker in color and looks like it has more spices. Now let's try out with the second best condiment and the best condiment to put on fish. It's really good with the malt vinegar. The batter is a beer batter, which I absolutely love. And they've definitely added more spice to it since I've last worked there. Like, you can see all the speckles of pepper in it. Like, the camera doesn't do it justice. But yeah. This is a very respectable piece of fish, and I only eat beer battered fish when I get fish and chips. But instead of getting potatoes of the fried variety, I got potatoes of the mashed variety. But I'm not going to try these on video because they're just mashed potatoes. They're nothing special. Anyways, that fish and chips, it's the only one I've tried so far. I'm going to try some more in the future. I'll give that a respectable 7.5 out of 10.
If you guys didn't know, Nova Online has made 2 stands in his life here recently. One, he's no longer going to raid people on Twitch. They start clowning on him and they figure out that he's a pred really fast, and that's just not fun. You know, he figured out that he's just spreading the bad name of the chome every time he does it. But there's another thing that Nova proclaimed that he's going to start doing. That's better food reviews. Now, in the first segment, what did you guys see just now? It was Nova barely commenting on this at all. Now, I will say, there is some improvement. He's actually speaking instead of going, and then moving completely on. He's spitting out a few more words, but not much value or knowledge is being gained. Like, if you was actually trying to learn, do I want to eat from this place, or is there just a chome sitting there enjoying it right now? Well, you'd probably just come to the conclusion that this is just a chome enjoying food. Like, how would I know if I want it or not? But at least he's trying, right? Nope. The only thing you can really gather is, oh my god, did he actually lick all 10 of his fingers just now? He's literally the same guy that rolls around in his trash-infested room, has to be given stuff to take a shower. He won't even do it willingly, never does it. Won't even brush his hair, brush his teeth, but he's gonna lick all 10 of his fingers? No wonder you're constantly getting sick, chome, doing all of this. It's so wild. He thinks we're being mean when we're like, hey, clean the room, you'll probably get healthier. But no, it's just valid hygiene advice that he just completely ignores. No wonder you get fired all the time. And have you guys noticed this as well? That a majority of the places Nova Online will eat on TikTok is places that he worked at before. Like 60% of the TikToks he does is of places he used to work at. Like, he does not look for a job job whatsoever. It's just going to work at places he thinks he could eat at all day, 8 hours. And then when he figures out the work actually requires work, he quits shortly after that, or just flames out, says something stupid to get himself fired, and then goes home to mom like, oh shucks, it happened again, mom. We'll figure it out next time. I promise I'm not just been a slacker. You know, I'm a real hard-working man, I promise you. But no, it really is like he's going there to eat at these places all day, like the entire reason he got the job. And that's so tragic because then he's ruining the food for the other people who come there to enjoy it. Like when he's looking at the fish, he's like, wow, this is darker. It looks like it's got more spices on it. So what you mean, Chome, is this guy actually prepared the fish decently and you just didn't even bother. What a productive member of society. Just stick to TikToks that you don't even do properly. He pulls out the mashed potatoes and is like, well, I would review these. This is the entire point of my channel, but no, it's just gonna be mashed potatoes, nothing special. It's like, why are you even here then, Chome? Why even make the video in the first place? And then because he's jealous this guy made the food better than he ever did, he drops it a solid 7.5. Better luck next time. You just don't make it the same as the Chome.
This is the spiciest grilled cheese that I could get at a build-your-own grilled cheese spot. This is the spicy garlic chicken bacon ranch grilled cheese. I gotta make this quick. My phone's at 3%. I forgot everything that was on it, but it's got garlic, chicken, bacon, avocado, jalapenos, banana peppers, and it's got all the good stuff. It's got a little bit of pesto too. Okay, enough yapping. Let's try this out. Bone apple teeth.
Exclusive property of Major Chilla on YouTube.
Holy shit! The avocado gives it creaminess. Obviously, the jalapenos and banana peppers give it some spice. The garlic chicken actually contributes to the spice a little bit due to the intense flavor of the garlic. And I also think there is some onions in here as well. I'm giving this grilled cheese a 9 out of 10. It is my go-to. Although toppings usually vary. So it's not quite a 10 out of 10. Anyways, No Vine Universe, signing off. Trying my friend's normal Panda Express order. But before we do that, I gotta get my daily dose of Red 40 with Fanta Red 40. Gotta love that Red 40. Alright, now on to my friend's order. She has ARFID, so she likes to mix the rice and noodles together. I want to point out that I believe this friend has betrayed me since I made this video. But for the meat, she gets orange chicken and Kung Pao chicken, which the orange chicken is top 3 item at Panda Express for me. Let's start with the fried rice. Delicious. Chow mein. I love the chow mein. I always got it when I was a kid. Now the orange chicken. This batch is extra saucy. Now finally, the Kung Pao chicken. Get the chili off of there. Don't wanna... Those chilies are so spicy. Okay, that was spicier than I was expecting. It's quite hot, the Kung Pao chicken. But the orange chicken, it's extra saucy this time around. All in all, it's a solid order. I really enjoyed it. Would I get it again? I'd probably sub the Kung Pao chicken out for broccoli beef, but it is still really good.
Whenever I think of grilled cheese, now maybe this is just me, I always think, just cheese and maybe some vegetables is allowed on the sandwich, but once you put a meat on them, it just becomes like a chicken sandwich with a hell of a lot of cheese on it. And did you guys see the size of that quote-unquote grilled cheese? It was the size of Nova's head plus. You know he was about to chow down on that thing. He loved every single bit of it. He's like, that's okay. There's a reason reason he got off video so fast, because he was about to enjoy that at his own leisure. He didn't want to have to waste his time making a TikTok while I can have that huge sandwich. If it had another layer on it, it might classify as a cartoon sandwich. But Nova, you know he's gonna stuff all that thing down in one go. And continuing on with the odd things that Nova's buying, I don't have a Panda Express near me, but I think that's actually what the drink is called, Red 40. I just find it hilarious that there's a drink that would probably be in a parody comedy movie about America in the future. Yeah, Idiocracy, basically. I could totally see them having a drink called Red 40. It's got all the artificial dyes one could want in one single cup. And Nova would be the exact guy to order it and love it. It just makes too much sense. And then the video gets even better when you hear Nova like, well, actually, this is for a friend of mine. And then he has to butt in later like, well, bad news, ladies and gentlemen. Another one had turned on me. What, are you shocked? I'm certainly shocked. And now I can only sit and wonder, this is a fairly recent video. Have we got the leaks just yet? Have they came out of the betrayal? Or is this just going to be something we see down the line where we're reading it and we're like, okay, so Nova's saying right now, hey, do you think it would be cool to do this food review? Or is this your favorite item from this place? And they're like, no. And he's like, well, it's mine, so I'm going to do a food review and say it's for you. And then later on, he'll start being creepy, and it's like, ugh, the chome will chome. It's nice to ponder at what point in the timeline we're at. Have we had these laughs yet, or are these future laughs that we're going to have?
Welcome back to Factor or Capper. You may not know that's the series name because all of the Factor or Capper episodes have also been Sad Boy Eats episodes. But Factor or Capper is the series where I try Factor meals and rate them on a scale of 1 to 5 stars and also put them in the Factor app. I've just been telling you my star rating in the Factor app recently. But today, the Factor meal is the cavatappi Italian style pork ragu. And the smell coming off of this, freaking amazing. Okay, the broccoli has a nice texture that I like. It's like firm, like a nice chew, but not too firm. However, it does need more garlic butter in the broccoli itself. I would add more garlic powder next time. Alright, now let's try the ragu itself. Oh. Something in that's not right. I'm gonna say one thing right now. Something is a bit off with the sauce. I can easily get past that and eat the rest of this, but the initial bite threw me off. For me, 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's okay. I wouldn't get it again because of the aftertaste though, but I'll still eat this. Nova in the Universe, signing off. Let's try my business partner's favorite Denny's order. She gets the salted caramel banana pancake slam and a Sprite. Let's try it out. You can't go wrong. It's a classic drink. Let's start with the bacon. I asked for it to be crispy. It's crispier than normal. Alright, and now the salted caramel banana pancakes with a lack of caramel because they did not put it in my bag. How can you have salted caramel pancakes without salted caramel? Seriously? I'm still gonna try it with the bananas and the vanilla cream fluff though. We called it fluff when I used to work there. Alright, I got a little bit of the fluff and the banana. Let's try it out. Bone apple teeth. Considering that I didn't add the salted caramel, it's more of a banana cream pancake. And I actually really like it. Probably would be better with the salted caramel though. And Artie, if you're watching this, I know how much you love salted caramel, so maybe give these a shot if you're ever in America. And on top of that, the pancakes are nice and fluffy, just how you want them. My business partner, she's got good taste. She's got excellent taste. This slam, for me, gets a 9 out of 10. It's really good.
Nova's trying really hard to get that Factor sponsorship, and there's just no way they would tank their brand like that. Or maybe they're doing like sneak advertisements like, okay, Chome, you can eat them, but you better not tell them that we're sponsoring you. You can't do that, or you're in some big trouble, mister. And he's like, don't even worry. I barely say shit during my food reviews. I won't even mention it. It's like, and it's a good thing too, because Chome is not enjoying these whatsoever. If it doesn't have like a surplus amount of calories, like in all fast food items, if there's not at least 2K sitting in front of him at the moment, he's not going to enjoy it whatsoever. And then he's trying to play it like, so if you've never heard of The Factor, whatever he named this new show of his, quote unquote, I guess, he's like, it's actually always been Sad Boy Eats Meals. Like, no, your Sad Boy Eat Meals are just Olive Garden. That's it, mainly. Or some Dickies. That's what cheers the sad boy up. This is basically you suffering for us. Like, and you know, I'll admit it, Chome, I think Factor may make you a little bit healthier. If like you just stuck to this, you would probably be on a calorie deficit, so it might help you a little bit. I don't know. I don't think a preserved food in that nature could be the best for you in general, but you know, it's a start for somebody who's not very healthy. Gives them a routine. It could be a little bit fun, so I guess it has that going for it, but it's not a good look when the Chome himself can barely hold it down. And speaking of business partners, Nova mentions that he has one in this TikTok, one of the last ones that you watched, and that's very concerning. We don't know who it is. They've probably already been outed. You know, we probably already know. That's probably the person who turned on him he mentioned just a little bit earlier. But at the moment, I would be curious of who in fact was a business partner with the Chome. It's not good to line up with him whatsoever, but it is funny that no matter who's working with him in whatever capacity, they somehow manage to screw him over in some way, shape, or form. This person gives him the TikTok idea to get the salty caramel pancake, and the place they gave it to him, they did the world right. They said, no, we're not giving you what you want, Chome. You're gonna have to deal with this yourself. Do your own damn food review. Sit there and enjoy what we gave you. And he did. And Nova, he's like, oh, even though they didn't give me what I want, you know, it's still pretty good. They did the world a service that day. It's always nice to see things go a little bit awry for the Chome. But I think that's enough for me today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, follow all the socials down below, use the new hype feature, leave a comment as well, and I'll catch you guys next time.